Now, it's pretty common knowledge to X-Men fans, or just Marvel fans in general, that Nightcrawler is the son of Mystique, with her being his mom. Which, yes, is true, however, that wasn't the original idea. Instead, she would have been his father. Yeah. This would have been either the late 80s or early 90s when this was pitched. Now, the reason why I don't know, or we don't know, is because the plan of Mystique being Nightcrawler's parent was planned for years before it was revealed. And different sources on the internet and different sources in general just say different dates and times as to when this idea was pitched. So it's somewhere between the late 80s and early 90s. Now, to summarize, Mystique is a shapeshifter mutant who is a fan favorite of the X-Men universe. Meanwhile, there's another character named Destiny, who is a character little less known. She's a mutant like Mystique, who has been around on Earth since the 19th century. She's a blind woman of mental abilities. And she was intended to be Nightcrawler's mom. You see, the two characters always had a very strong bond, that being Mystique and Destiny, and while the writers always wanted that bond to be more, they never could because of the comics code. Which, while yes, wasn't really a thing at this time, it still existed. But the mandate and restrictions were more or less on the idea of too much violence, but for some unknown reason, they also had an issue with Mystique and Destiny being together. Likely because it's a gay couple. However, I would also argue Constantine was confirmed bisexual in the 80s. Which wasn't the late 80s, it was the mid 80s. So unless the timeline of when this all went down is just kind of muddled, or maybe they just had a bigger problem with Destiny and Mystique being together because Constantine wasn't with an actual guy, he was just stated to like guys. I guess maybe that is the reason why they had a problem with Destiny and Mystique being together, because there wasn't ever an actual gay couple. There were LGBTQ characters, but they weren't ever actually together. Regardless of the fact that they couldn't actually stay in the comics, a lot of fans already knew, as it was made pretty obvious, but this whole reveal would have been confirmed that what the fans had believed and what the writers already knew, that being that they were together. With Nightcrawler having originally meant to be Destiny's and Mystique's son. You see, the reveal would have had that Mystique shapeshifted her body to have male genitals, and would have gotten Destiny pregnant with Nightcrawler. That did not happen, as it was not approved. Instead, it would be changed. And when the reveal did happen, Mystique was his mom now, not his dad. Later on, we'd meet Nightcrawler's dad, who was a demon, kinda? But he was a mutant later. It was really weird. It was during that whole run where Iceman died and had to be, he had to recreate his entire body out of Havoc's own pee. That happened. It all went down in that run, so it was a mess. As the reveal of Mystique being his mom did happen way earlier, his dad being revealed to be a demon happened in the whole Iceman P run, so it was very much a very big mess and was not received well by fans. So it'd be like a retcon that he was a mutant, or he was a different guy, then I don't know, it's really weird. It got really weird there for a second for Nightcrawler's dad. The X-Men movies made the character a lot less, complicated. He was just a guy who looked like a demon. Now, Destiny and Mystique in the past decade have been shown to actually be a couple, and by doing this, it incorporates them into storylines that they couldn't be in beforehand. As they would always have to stop and be like, hey, they're not actually together, but now they don't have to do that. Instead, we just keep going with the story. And because of that, the characters get to shine even more, and their relationship. Mystique is, in my opinion, one of the best X-Men villains, while Destiny has potential. Well, yeah, she isn't a straight-up, amazing Magneto Mystique Sabretooth type of character. She has potential. But then came, something. You see, Destiny would be killed by Legion, and Mystique was left to mourn her. Yeah. Why does everybody always, anytime somebody is happy in a relationship, one of them dies in the Marvel Universe, or DC Universe, one or the other. But somebody always dies. And Mystique is a very popular character, so of course it's going to be Destiny who's going to kick the bucket. Luckily, she got better, as all characters always do in comics. And they do seem to be implying that they are together again. However, we don't really see it too much, which is a shame because I think them being focused on could be a really interesting storyline. Because Mystique and Destiny got together when they were villains. So I have some questions on how that happened. I always like seeing villains' soft spots, and especially when it's a genuine relationship. Because sometimes villains will use other villains and pretend like they actually like them, like Joker and Harley Quinn. But other times, villains actually like each other, which is a rarity, but a really intriguing idea. Which, yes, technically they're not villains anymore, but still. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.